Greetings, metalheads. Welcome to part two of the Sacrifice interview with drummer Gus Pynn. Hope you enjoy it. In this part of the interview, we're talking about the fourth album, Apocalypse Inside, touring, and also the comeback album, The Ones I Condemned, which is a fantastic album. Takes you back to the old school Sacrifice. So enjoy the interview. Please share on Facebook and Facebook groups. Speak soon, folks, and stay metal. Thanks for watching. Okay, then, so the next album, Apocalypse Inside, that was the last album you did for Metal Blade Records. So what memorable memories do you have from that album, and what songs were your favorites?
Well, that album I never did. I left in 1990,
Okay.
and I was out of the band and officially music from 1990 until 2001.
Okay.
Almost 12 years I quit.
So what was the reason for you leaving then? Did you just get fed up with the scene, or was it family life, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, all of that stuff. The whole thing. It was not making any money. Always broke. I guess I was a little frustrated with that, and just hard to make a living, right?
Yeah.
So after 5 years of trying to do my best at it, I felt, I needed something else. I moved on, got married, had kids, and raised my daughters for, I guess, 12 years. And then I started playing drums again.
Right.
And then my son came along, and I never really quit playing at that point. I just kept going.
Yeah.
And then I seen those guys again in 2003. This is the first time I've seen Rob and Scott in almost 12 years, or talked to them at all. So we had a gap of 12 years there, and they went on to record that album and then disbanded, I guess, in 94. And then Rob did, his solo stuff. He did.
Yeah, I heard he did some of his own stuff. Was it more punk or
Yeah.
something? Was it more punk?
No, it was more like a bit of a little bit more laid back kind of metal vibe.
Okay.
He did it. He called the band Interzone. So he did that for I guess a couple years, late '90s.
So did they release anything?
He did the record. I don't think he did anything over the top major release, or was ever approached about the release of that album by a record company. But it's not to say that it couldn't be done later on,
Yeah.
And he wrote some good songs. He wrote some good songs for that. I've heard it. I've got a copy of it, and every once in a while I'll listen to it.
Is it on YouTube? Because I'll have a listen to it.
I don't think so.
Oh,
I don't
really?
think it's ever been uploaded. Yeah.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. The Milwaukee Metal Fest when you played there, and I remember seeing the fly for it, like Trouble. There's so many fucking great bands on that bill.
Yeah, King Diamond played
Yeah, it was
that.
just like, holy shit.
Yeah, that was a fucking big one. And even today, I have guys from the Midwest, send me messages about playing Chicago or playing fucking Milwaukee, because they as a band and even myself played there a couple times.
Milwaukee
I
Death
only play,
Metal Fest.
I only played there once, but
Yeah.
people never forget it. That's for sure.
No, I remember seeing the poster for it, Milwaukee Death Metal Fest, because I reviewed the concert in Metal Forces magazine.
Yes.
And I was just looking at all the bands that played it, Deicide, Sacrifice, Trouble, Z-Trope. It was like, fucking hell.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah, that was a big one. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's right.
It's just a shame it didn't
Yeah.
come to Europe. If that had hit Europe, it'd have been amazing.
Yeah, or if all those guys decided to fucking, like, well, you think about it today, Jason. Say all that, if all those guys, like, even like a trio bands, it's like they say about us, right? They say, well, if you guys, Razor and Exciter, or even Voivod, decided to all go out on a fucking worldwide tour, that it would be fucking sold out in every place you guys played.
Canadian.
Because around, yeah, because it'd be a Canadian fucking
Yeah.
set of bands, and you guys would be able to sell no problem going around the fucking world at any place.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, yeah, I could see that. I could see that. But now it's different because the infrastructure is there. Unlike when fucking we played back in the day where it was so sporadic and, you get shows booked, they get canceled because nobody could fucking sell tickets or knew how to sell tickets. Now you announce a fucking tour like that and it sells out like that because of Ticketmaster and the fucking infrastructure that's already existed, right?
Yeah.
Now it's like you got to have fucking, just that, right? You
Right.
got to have the right amount of guys to do it.
Yeah, I remember back in the day. I mean, you were real good friends with Believer, the band Believer, because Even the singer Kurt, he had his vocal sounded like Joe. Very similar
Yeah.
style. Even the music sounded similar to you guys.
Yeah, yeah, they toured with them. I wasn't in the band when they did that stuff, but they did that with Mike
Right.
Rosenthal. He was the drummer that replaced me. But
So
yeah, they
what?
toured. They did a full tour with those guys.
So what band was Mike in before he joined Sacrifice?
Oh fuck. He played with Mark Watts's band. Mark Dark Legion were a Scarborough band that we played lots of shows with them late '80s. So we always had an affiliation with them. They were always those guys used to hang out all the time. So Mike knew the Twins, stuff like that, knew Watts. So when I left the band, they approached him and he took the gig and basically, I guess, learned all the songs that I had written for the first three records and then helped them write Apocalypse Inside and then toured with them until they split in '94.
Right.
So he was in the band almost the same length of time I was.
So out of the first four albums, how do you see each album as a progression?
Oh, every one of them was. I mean, all the way through. Um, but I mean, it's more the maturity that I got as a musician with each record going through. I mean, uh, if I had to record it, let's say Torment and Fire in like 1989 as opposed to 1985, the drumming wouldn't even be the same fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? Like my drumming took a step every year from 1985 on, and by the time I got to '88, my meter and the way I was playing thrash was, you know, as it was as good as anybody that was playing at that time. And I just continued to push myself, push how hard I played the drum set, push how hard I approached it, the mentality of it, all that stuff. So yeah, every album was a step forward for me. Mostly improving as a musician as well, right? Trying to
Yeah.
improve my drumming and being as obsessive as fucking any guy that plays drums. You know that
Yeah.
it's a fucking Jason. You deal with all us fucking freaks, and every guy is.
Different.
You gotta have more than just you gotta have something. You gotta have that clock, that drive. Like I play fucking drums to make me happy, right? I buy a fucking grand set to fucking keep me happy, right? And then what does it do? I just continues to make my talent, push forward, and I'm all about not sitting on your fucking laurels. I mean, if you're not driven to play, I mean, then give it the fuck up, man. You
Yeah.
know, you
Right.
got to be driven. Like you got to want it. You got to fucking, you got to have music that fucking inspires you, right?
Yeah. Right.
And you got to have a love for the instrument. I mean, that's always been my fucking way. Like the instrument has driven me. Like I love to play drums. I don't aspire to be a fucking guitar player. I don't want to be a bass player. I don't want to be a fucking singer. I don't want to be any of that shit. Do you read music? No, I don't fucking read music. I hear music, and it comes through my other legs and my hands, right? So
Yeah. Right. So when you
I mean, that's just natural progression, right? If you really think about it.
Yeah. Okay then. So look, when you look back at your first two albums, which one would you say is the cult classic for Sacrifice?
Oh, For Determination, for sure.
Really?
I mean, for me, yeah. I mean, that for me is the mindset, the way we were thinking, the songs we wrote, how we wrote them, the thought process. For me, that was my defining moment as a drummer, as a musician,
Yeah.
and then what kept pushing me forward, right? Even to today. I mean, but don't get me wrong. It's not like Torment and Fire was any less a fucking. For me, that was my stepping stone. That was my step into fucking becoming, who I guess helping the band become what it is today, right?
Yeah, if I remember rightly, I think on that first album, Rob's wearing a spiked fucking wristband with. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a typical metal thing back in the 80s.
Yeah, '85. It was a lot of that stuff. Joe used to wear the fucking wristbands. We used to wear them when we played Larry's Hideaway. We only played that summer in '85, but we did a lot of shows that summer. We got to play with Snow White and
From
Exodus.
Chicago. Yeah, Chicago
Yeah,
band.
G's fucking good friend of ours, and
I mean, those first four albums, especially the first two, got re-released on Marquee Records, the Brazilian label, with like bonus demos and live cuts. How did that come about? Because I've got the
all
first two.
three.
Oh, first three. I've got the first two, and I've got this T-shirt which I bought from Marquee Records on eBay.
Yeah.
So how
But
did
that
that come
was
about?
him and Rob. They were friends in late '80s, late '90s. He, I guess, approached Rob about putting the albums out, or I guess early 2000, 2003, 4, 5. I remember, I remember we hadn't even played any fucking shows or been playing music together until he met me downtown and gave me a whole bunch of fucking royalty money for the release of those records, the re-release of those records. And I couldn't fucking believe I was getting paid again for my music, right? I was like, wow. And since then, Jason, it's been one release after another, and it's been lucky. He managed to get us off our fucking asses. And I talk about Armando Pereira. He's the guy who ran Marquee.
Okay.
He got Rob on board, sent them beautiful layouts about how he wanted to re-release those records, put all that live shit with it, put the whole package together, and Rob said yes. I didn't really have anything to say about it. I wasn't even in the band then. And I said, okay. And then he, like I said, he met me downtown. We went and had a fucking pint and fucking, he gave me a fucking envelope full of cash and said, here, go home and sit on this. There's some more coming. I'm like, fuck, man. I couldn't believe it. I was like, and then, I don't know, maybe a couple months after that, so you want to jam? You still want to jam together? Me and you? We're not going to tell anybody. I'm like, all right. We'll learn some songs and play together. Okay. Yeah. So that's what we did.
Oh wow.
And then nobody had a fucking clue. You know what I'm saying, Jason?
Yeah.
The next thing you know, we play and fucking, we do about 7 songs and we look at each other and we go, yeah, I think we can still do this shit. Eh? He goes, yeah. And then that's like 2003, 2004, shows 2006. And then here we are, 2022.
Yeah.
Fucking incredible. Like, yeah, almost 20 years since we restarted the band, so to speak. And we've been together 4 times longer now than the first 5 years we started. So 25 years as a band is not bad.
No.
And the records are fucking almost 40 years old. So
did those records get released on any other labels besides Marquee? Because I'm pretty sure I've seen them on the internet through other labels.
yeah, this year it's been High Roller Records in Europe.
Yeah,
they
Germany.
Put them out.
Yeah, German label.
Those guys put out our albums in Europe. We got.
So what have they done with them? What have they done to them compared to the Marquee versions?
Oh, they reissued them. They put new collectible fucking pictures together, just like Marquee did. I guess they were obviously impressed with how Armando did his, so they did the same thing. Gave us a shitload of questions and asked us, what we thought about the records, stuff like that. We sent them back our comments, and they repackaged them. Did a fantastic job. I've got Torment and Fire and For Determination just sent to me, and they look fucking great. And now we got Shadow Kingdom putting out Torment Fire, For Determination, Soldiers, all on tape cassette.
Oh yeah, I've seen them on Facebook. Yeah. Do you know, there's one thing I didn't like about cassettes. They all seem to get chewed up and just fucking snap in your machine. So I don't know why they're re-releasing them on cassette. It doesn't make sense.
I don't know, man. It's fucking the new thing. They said to me when they were coming around again, I said, why? Because I already know I got a whole shitload of them. I'm like, why? I said, the other formats are way better. Man, it's a new fucking thing, dude. It's just like records. I said, what? I said, I get records, yes. I said, but tapes I don't fucking get.
Yeah.
They said, yeah, the new generation are buying fucking tape cassettes and fucking they're like the guys in that new movie, Metal Lords. The fucking
yeah. What do you think of that film? I watched it.
I fucking loved it, man. It was like deja vu for me, right? Young drummer, fucking. That's what happened to us in '85. Us, Slaughter, and a Rolling Stones tribute band called Midnight Ramblers. We
Okay.
were at Gilmore's. It was my first show, and it was a contest. My dad was pissed, man. He was drinking nails all night, watching us play. And Midnight Ramblers were first. We were second. Slaughter were third.
Are we talking about Are we talking about the Canadian slaughter or the glam slaughter?
No, I'm talking about our buddies Terry Sadler
Yeah.
and Dave Houston from the powerful Slaughter.
Yeah, Strapado.
Strapato, yes. Good
All
friends
right.
of ours.
I mean,
Still are.
I mean, the first 4 albums, I've got the original pressings on Metal Blade on CD because Metal Blade used to send me CDs back in the 90s and 80s. So I've got the original Sacrifice CDs. They must be worth some money.
I still have mine. They don't sound like the new stuff at all. Not
Yeah.
even fucking close, no. Because I was smart. Well, when High Roller sent me the new CDs for Torment and Fire and For Determination, I said, "Fuck it, man! I got a CD player in my car." So I said, "Fuck this shit!" Right? I took my son to work, and then I threw the fucking CD in as soon as I dropped them off, and I got a half an hour ride home, and I turned that shit the fuck up. Right? I was like, "Oh, this is great! Sounds fucking huge."
Does it sound
And,
better? They remastered them or something?
Yeah, man. They did a fantastic job. Yeah, everything sounds fucking nice and spicy for sure. Like, I mean, I wish I could have played better, but it sounded big.
So I'm going to ask you now then, Gus, why did the band break up? What was the reason? Was it just, I mean, you'd already left the band before they broke up. So what was the reason? Did they just get pissed off with the scene, nothing happening, or?
It's just no money. Back in 1990, nobody's making any fucking money, man.
Yeah.
Nobody. You could fucking ask any of those bands. Dark Angel. The only ones that were making money is Slayer, Metallica. I'm sure Exodus had no fucking problem making money, but I bet you've asked those fucking guys how many fucking shows they played and didn't make a fucking dime because somebody rolled them, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can ask any one of them. They probably all would complain, like Anvil, any one of them. They'll all bitch about fucking nobody was making a fucking dime. I'm telling you. Somebody was, it wasn't us.
Yeah. So,
But now you don't have that problem.
No.
You can make money.
So, Gus, I'm going to ask you then. So, you came back in and did the new albums, the ones I condemned in 2009, are back on Marquee Records again. But you also went with a German label, I think, called Cyclone Empire. So, how did you guys get back together? What brought you back together? Was it like you said earlier, you and Joe just jamming?
Yeah, it was 2003 Christmas. I was playing with a punk band called the Three Tards, and those guys. I used to play with Rob Mills. Rob Mills is the original drummer in Razor. He lives just over in the court here around my place.
Okay.
So I joined his punk band, and they somehow, Rob or Scott, got a hold of them, and then unbeknownst to me, they showed up one fucking night. We were just getting around having a drink, and they walked in. We were jamming. I was playing Three Tard stuff at that time. They actually picked up the bass and the guitar with me, and we couldn't play one song. No Sacrifice stuff. Couldn't play any of it.
Really?
Oh, one song. And then after that, that's when, not long after that, I ended up beating Rob at the Horseshoe Tavern here in Toronto. Had a pint, gave me a fucking whack of cash from the marquee sales and the fucking records that he had signed with that Armando, and the rest was history. And after that, he kept pushing me and Rob. He goes, "Man, you guys should write a new fucking record." And Rob had he had a 7-song demo he gave to me on tape on a CD. He gave it to me. He goes, "Here." He goes, "This is some new stuff that I was working on." So it had 7 songs. I listened to all of them. I said, "Okay, it sounds great." I said, "Let's do all of that stuff." And we started getting together, practicing. We started practicing April, I guess, early 2004. That's what I remember. And the rest was history, man. We wrote that stuff over 2004 to what, 2008. I went in the studio December of 2008, and we put it out in 2009. So took us, you believe that? It took us 5 fucking years to write a record.
God.
Literally. I know.
Did
And,
you?
and it's like that now. Like now we have new material after 12 years. We got six new songs. Like right
Wow.
now, I'm
So,
sitting on.
so did you get any interest from any of the fans to make a comeback? Was that involvement at the
I,
reformation?
I had no idea, none whatsoever. I at that time I was wrapped up in a punk band and had no fucking idea what was going on in the metal scene. It wasn't until I did I guess a radio show in 2004 uh, in Toronto with this punk band, and this guy come up to me. He goes, "You're the drummer in Sacrifice." I said, "Was." He goes, "Do you know what's going on in metal?" I said, "What do you mean?" I said, "I don't have a fucking clue. I've been out of metal for, I don't know, almost feels like 20 years." He goes, "Yo, there's a big resurgence in thrash, eh?" He goes, "Your band is still really popular, eh?" I said, "What band are you talking about?" He goes, "This band here." I said, "Oh." I said, "Well, it's good to know. Thanks, man." And sure enough, here we are, fucking after almost 20 years, Jason.
Well,
And
congratulations, man. When I found out you were doing this new album, I was like, oh fuck, I hope they go back to the classic sound, which you did,
yeah, oh
definitely
yeah,
did.
yeah. I mean, I was I was nervous about doing the ones I condemn. I wasn't sure how it was going to be received or if people would like it and shit like that. But I I trusted Rob. I trusted the process. You know what I'm saying? I'm still a fucking scared kid then. I was more scared in 2008 than I was ever in all my years in the first three records. That was made me the most nervous. And now I'm piss and vinegar like I was in 2020 in 1985. You know, same thing. Where I'm fucking really happy about this new stuff, and I'm super confident it's gonna kick people in the fucking ass because
So
I
do you,
love it.
would you say that the ones I condemned is like part two of Forward Determination? For me, it sounds like part two. It could have been
You
the
think
album that.
so?
Yeah, I think it could have been.
No, seriously? Do
Is
you
that
think
a,
that?
is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't know. I
I think it's
I
a
just think
continuation.
I think well, I mean, fuck. How would how would I think about the ones I condemn?
I think to me, I think
I
it could have been like Soldiers of Misfortune, but replaced it. If you know what I mean?
You think so?
Yeah,
Fuck, I
like if
haven't
you'd have
thought
done
that.
that back in the day, you could have had that there, and
Oh, well, thanks, Jason. That's
yeah.
fucking. That's a fucking really cool way of talking about that record. I
So
never thought about it that way.
yeah,
Um, I
no,
think it's just because when we wrote it, we're in our 40s, right? So
yeah,
I think as well for me and Rob especially. I mean, all of us. We're all married. We've got kids. So that's you know I don't feel as piss and vinegar as I did when I was young, fucking 19, 20 years old, no kids, and trying to dominate what I was trying to do. Then I felt more domesticated, but yet still burning with that fucking, still wanting to write a good record and play well, right? Still having doubt that I don't know if people would like it, and then we finished it. Darius did a fucking spectacular job. It's my first time recording with Pro Tools, so that for me was a whole fucking different ball of wax because
yeah.
all the other stuff was 2-inch tape, quarter-inch tape, except for Soldiers, which was to DAT, which is the first time we'd gone digital. So totally different process. I spent 5 days recording the record, not fucking 14 hours recording Soldiers of Misfortune in one night. So that was the difference, more time, more just a totally different experience. That's all I can tell you. So yeah, lots of doubt, but yeah, thanks. That's
You're welcome. I mean, to me,
that that
Gus.
that.
Sorry, I was going to say, Gus. To me, that was like if you're going to come back and you're a thrash band, you've been away for 10, 20 years. You've got to come back aggressive, and that album did come back aggressive. That was like, we're back. If you don't like it, fuck you.
Yeah, yeah, I felt like that too. I mean, I remember when we wrote the ones I condemn. I was like, yeah, this is fucking. And I remember we had a guy come in and we finished the song, and he came to practice, and I watched his face after we played it, and he was like, "Fuck." He goes, "Is that the new one?" I said, "Yes." He goes, "Fuck." I said, "Okay, good." I said, "That's the reaction I wanted." I said, "Okay, maybe there's a fucking good chance," but I mean, still wrote the rest of it, and always doubt. But no, I was really pleased with it. At least there's no mistakes on that record.
Yeah.
Unlike the other three, I could circle stuff.
Yeah, you learn by your mistakes, basically, what to do.
Yeah, well, it's like I said, it's a different recording process. It's a different way of doing things. It's
Yeah.
just like it's just like having this kit and seeing, now I've got 60, 70 kits as opposed to one,
Yeah.
where I only got one in the garage and you can't really change it except for heads and cymbals, right? So,
Yeah.
you know, unless you buy, I mean, I would like to be like the drummer in Pearl Jam, Matt Cameron, who's got like a fucking warehouse full of drums, and he's got a rack with like 15, 16 drums that were given to him by all the various companies that endorsed them.
But the only thing is, though, Gus.
I mean, it's like Nico McBrain. You got in his fucking warehouse. How many different drum sets does he got, right, Jason?
Yeah, but the thing is, Gus, Pearl Jam suck.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying. Well, he played in Soundgarden. My point being is,
Yeah.
I can't pull out a different acoustic kit every time, right?
No.
So
I
it's
mean,
just like for us.
the last album, Cyclone Empire. I mean, I've never heard of this label. I mean, did you not approach labels like Metal Blade for the last album? Central
Yeah, but
Media.
yeah, but it's not that we haven't been approached by big labels. The problem with most labels is the one thing they want to take from you and control is your digital rights. That belongs to us.
Right.
That's a big thing for us, and it should be for every band. That's what makes you money, right?
Yeah.
And that's what has kept us floating for years is, our digital rights to all our songs. Because I mean, you already know Spotify are not giving you a big cut per play, you know,
Yeah.
and you got to have a million fucking plays on YouTube to get any kind of residuals. So we're not one of those bands that get that, So you got to hang on to whatever you got that just gets you. And if it gets you by, keeps you floating, so be it.
It's the same with me with the YouTube channel. If it gets me by, hey, I'm doing it for the love of music.
Isn't that the idea? I mean,
Yeah.
that's what we did between '85 and 1990 is just get by.
Then it's
And
kind of
now here I am, 20, 30 years later, and I'm being rewarded for, those years of sweat in what I thought was maybe wasted times, right? But no, the albums continue to sell. They continue to be bought up by the new generation of thrash metal heads that are being born and bred every day.
yeah.
But I
It's
mean,
like
I mean the genres. I mean, Jason, the genre is really spread out, and the talent within metal itself is second to none.
yeah. I mean, it's like for me, I've been going 33 years without a break. It's like
See,
I've been thinking about writing a book. People have said to me, "You've met that many people, man. You've got that much knowledge, man. Why don't you just write a book?"
yeah,
So I'm thinking about it.
you should. You should.
So
It's
so yeah,
about it's well, you've seen the whole walk, right? You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
You've seen it from the beginning. That's why it's easy for you to sit here and shoot the shit with me about, because you've already been there, you've already
yeah.
seen it.
I mean,
We're we're in our 50s now. If
I
fucking
know.
shit don't get any easy, eh?
Like getting back to this new album, the last album, the ones I condemned. What are your favourite songs from that album? Because that is like a really, really, like I say,
Oh
hard
yeah,
album.
yeah. I could play all the songs off of that, every song.
Hmm.
I love that whole record. So we always play the ones I condemn. I always make Rob and We Will Prevail. I said, even this show, we only had the Great Wall, which we always play
That's a pretty
every.
slow song, that, and it's a pretty slow song, but it gets going towards the end.
Yeah, thank you. And we always play that song. And I said, well, I said we should still play, We Will Prevail and Condemned. I said I still love playing those songs. And he looked at me, he winked, he goes, okay, we'll do that. So I managed to get that thrown back in the set list for sure.
So how many copies of that album did he sell? Did it sell well for you as a comeback album?
Yeah, it's still selling. It's still in rotation. It still doesn't sell. Well, I shouldn't say that. Or at least with this record deal, those other record labels didn't actually pick it up. But so I mean, it's still not as loved by the at least the old school guys that they still put out our first 3 records, still reissue them. So I can't complain about that. And if people want the new one, we still get that pressed by vinyl at War on Music. So those guys continue to put out all four records. Apocalypse Inside is owned by Metal Blade Records, so we just take care of our own stuff.
Right then, because I know you did a live DVD,
yes,
which you released. I would love to get a copy of that, but you just can't get it anywhere. Have you got any copies you can send me, please?
Oh, jeez. I know I don't have one. I mean, I have my own personal copy, but yeah. I won't give that one up, right?
No, of course you don't.
I got all that stuff I hang on to like a fiend now.
So maybe you should, when you do the new album, you should put that as a bonus DVD in the package.
Oh, you're talking about the reanimated video from 2006?
No, the actual live concert that you released on DVD. If you re-release that on the next album, for people that can't get hold of it, that'd be a cool little package.
I'll tell Rob about it and say, yeah, let's maybe get a way of getting a hand on that and fucking re-rolling it out. Well, I'll talk to Sean. Now I'll see if there's a way of getting you get your hands on it. I'll let him know.
Yeah, you can get me a signed copy by the band. That'd be awesome. Hell yeah!
Let me see what I can do, because that shit could happen in like the next 3 weeks for sure. Okay.
Oh wow! Thank you, Gus. Appreciate that. So I mean, you've got a new album coming out by the sounds of it. 6 new songs. Are they going to be released on the same 2 labels you're with now, or are you looking at somebody else?
Man, we haven't. Yeah. Well, we're being courted by a record label now. Okay. Massively, and we've had meetings, discussions. So it's not like this recording hasn't been noticed or coveted. So we'll see what happens. There's been ideas thrown around, and there's a way that I'd like to do it, and Rob wants to do it. So there's been some ideas. I think once Vancouver gets done, I'd say I'm gonna probably press harder to get us some recording time and get it done. So hopefully we'll have it done by the end of the year.
That's the one thing I noticed about your band. I mean, you did the Ones I Condemn, which is a great album. Then you just didn't do fuck all for ages. It's like, come on, guys, you've done a great album. You've done a great album, then you broke up. Or what's going on?
No. We played. We just spent more time playing shows. A couple shows a year. We had a writing funk for seemed like forever, 6 years. We hadn't written a new song. And then out of nowhere, we managed to write a couple of new songs that we're sitting on now, and it's been better the last couple of years.
So how's the new songs? How's the new songs going to progress from the last one?
From the last album?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. I'd say similar. I like speed varies a little bit more on this record as opposed to the first. But I mean, we're like that all the time, We got 2 or 3 speeds that we play at, so that won't change. We'll give you something that'll kick in the ass, and we'll give you the mid-pace stuff, and we'll give you the headbanging shit. You know how it goes.
Yeah, are we looking at a release for 2022 then?
I would hope so. So. But I mean, everything's got to come into place, right? We've got to get it done first. Got to record it. So once it's recorded, then we'll see what happens.
So how many songs do you think you're going to put on this new album?
Well, we're liking a couple of covers that we currently play, so we'll see what happens.
They'll have to be bonus songs for the Japanese or something.
Yeah, it was like the last record where we had the Ones I Condemn, and then we recorded, I think it was 3 different songs after that. Anthem, we did Burnt at the Stake, and The Entity, and then we put them on different releases as that album came out.
Yeah, I think I've got a promo copy of that in a slipcase, so I think it has got the bonus tracks on that.
Yes. Yeah, I've got Rob uploaded the ones I condemn on Spotify and put. I think he's got all 3 songs up there: Entity, Anthem, and Burnt at the Stake.
I remember reviewing your album, the ones that are condemned. In fact, I reviewed all your albums pretty much, and like I was like, "Fucking, this album is such a great comeback album." It's like, and then like I said to you a few minutes ago, you haven't done anything for like 10 years. These guys are lazy fucks. What's going on?
We're like fucking Tool, eh? Those guys are the same fucking way. It take 10 years to write a fucking new album too. Although they write like fucking 2 hours worth of shit and go, okay, we still got another album sitting in the can waiting to fucking go. That's what I heard that they did. So I'm waiting on those guys to put on some more shit too.
So you think you'd be touring the UK and Europe? Because you've never played the UK, have you? It's never ever played that I'm aware of.
No, but I know that we've had discussions with the guys at Bloodstock. I know that
Vicky,
there's a friend of mine.
Vicky?
Yeah, I think so. I think it might have been you that
Right.
I might have talked to. Somebody had put me in touch with them, and they said
It was me. It was me.
Yeah, it was you, right? And
Yeah.
you said, yeah, we'd have to play basically more than one show to get over and get it done.
Yeah.
But I keep fucking telling Rob. I said, man, there's no way you're gonna get me to fucking play in England unless I could fucking play a show and I get to see a football match. And the only fucking way that shit's happening is gonna be between August and fucking May every year. So it's got to happen in that fucking time zone. Otherwise, I ain't doing it.
I'd like to thank you for doing this interview. Do you have anything to say to the people that'll be watching this on YouTube?
Thank all you guys for giving me the time to just talk about the band and finally get to talk to Jason after all these years. We've been talking on Facebook since.
Yeah.
Shit, man, it's been so long. It's
I know.
So as soon as we ran into each other, we've been talking all these years. So yeah, I would you know, you don't have to ask me twice about coming to play England. It's just like some of the other places in Canada I want to play. So
and don't forget
I'm looking forward to it.
Don't forget to hook me up as a drum tech or merch seller because I'm ready for it. Right then.
I don't mind showing you my stuff and showing you how I set up my drums and having you do it for me. It'd be great to do.
Yeah. Hell yeah, mother. So thank you have a nice day, Gus. Keep in touch.
You too.